Hello and welcome to another beautiful edition of Softline. I am Nancy and as always, I have the ladies. Yoo-hoo-hoo. I'm not going to beat the drum for you today. Eddie, how are you?
Hello. It's a beautiful day. It's Softline as usual. And you're on ADBN. I tell you what, today we'll be talking something very interesting. Trust us. Nancy, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. I was wondering if it's because I didn't beat the drum that made you confused a little. Okay, I promise.
Some days you just come up and you seem to be a bit lost. And
yeah, it happens sometimes. It happens. And then we have Queen Esther in the house.
Yes.
Queen Esther.
Yeah. You want to roll the drum for Esther?
No, Esther doesn't like drum rolling. She doesn't be introduced like that.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I think so. How are you doing, Esther?
I'm good. Thank you so much, Nancy and Edidio. Thank you so much for having me.
Missed you, Esther. How have you been?
I've been good, and I missed you guys too, even though I've been following up on the clips you share.
All right, Eddie, what's up? Are you following this trend of a father who introduced his 4-year-old child to videos, adult content videos? You know, I think he wears her just bikinis and see-through clothes and then asks her to dance for the camera, and then he puts it up on social media. And then he has been having views, and people saw this, and this has been going out for quite a while. But unfortunately for him, people saw this video, and then, you know, reasonable people saw this video, because I know some people have been watching it in the past and they were enjoying it. So some people saw this and they found it very offensive and they reported him, and he has been arrested. Okay. But the thing about this story is that this father doesn't see anything wrong with what he's doing. But I think I have a video of him where if our director could put that up, where he was being held by police and questioned, and he was saying to him, they were asking him if he sees anything wrong what he has done.
And he didn't see anything wrong.
He didn't see anything wrong. He said he wants his child to become a celebrity. A celebrity.
What a perception.
So, yeah, he wants his child to become a celebrity. Yeah, that's him, a young man, I tell you. So he wants his child to become a celebrity at age 4, you know. So many people have been talking, you know, that this man has exposed this child to so many things. God knows the extent of exposure he has done to this child. You know, some have even alleged there could be some, you know, sexual molestation and all that, but we can't prove that for now. But why I brought this video or this story is, remember the other day we were talking about Cora Obidi, who the husband got custody of, or restrained from the court to restrain his child from being on social media until she's 18 years. Now this is a father who doesn't see, or who doesn't want the child to face this kind of exposure at this early age. Now this is another father who wants the child, who is much younger than that of Cora, to be exposed, to become a celebrity. Now, when you saw this video, when you saw this story, let me start with Esther today. What was your thought on it?
Well, I see a father who wants the best for his child, but he's doing the right thing the wrong way.
The wrong way, exactly.
So there is time for everything. Every father wishes that their children grow up to become better, more successful than themselves, but exposing that child at 4, you know, and in the activity he has gotten the child involved in, is something that is totally unacceptable. Yes, it is very wrong. It's morally wrong. It is wrong on all fronts, yes. So even though he has gone as far, you know, as saying he hasn't seen anything wrong with it, he just wants his child to be a celebrity. But what kind of celebrity? Who is a celebrity to start with? Someone who is celebrated for something impactful, something positive. Even though today that narrative has been changed. Just be popular and then they call you a celebrity. So they've mixed up fame, popularity, for being a celebrity in the real sense of it. So well, I wish him well. I just do hope he learns his lessons, and I hope that that child even lands safe. Again, I am worried about the extent that the videos have gone. the internet does not forget.
Exactly.
So even if he retraces his steps, even if the child is rehabilitated, you cannot retrieve all of the videos from the internet. Even if he puts down his TikTok page, other persons who saved the videos, you know, we have pedophiles. So that's just he himself, you know, selling his child to feed the emotions of, or the cravings of pedophiles. There are people who just derive pleasure from viewing children who are kind of nude or stuff like that. So he's in some ways promoting pornography, promoting nudity, promoting all manner of ill, you know, practices ignorantly, if at all he's ignorant. So let's just watch and see how the story leads. Maybe he'll be tried in court to see that what he actually puts as a front to his actions are the real intentions.
Well, the update is that the Edo State government have been able to retrieve this child and is now in their custody. But the point is, let's think about this father for once. What exactly does he want to, apart from the fact he said he wants this child to be a celebrity, I mean, in what sense? Is he taking toll, as in taking, watching the kind of celebrities we have now, what they do, so he thinks his child could imitate some of them?
You know, there's something that most young people, the millennials, are doing now, the Gen Zs are doing now. Yeah, monetization of accounts, social media accounts. So you get to a point where you reach a certain number of followership, and then they pay you for just uploading content. So maybe he has assumed that position of a content creator, so that he will attract likes, followerships, and then in return he makes money. Now there are other persons on YouTube. What they do, they now have private accounts for very senior content that all eyes will not see. But if you must see this, it is pegged at a particular amount for membership. So ladies cash out big time.
You know, I heard something like this, but Eddie, you want to say?
Yeah, because I don't want us to be in a hurry. Well, that's not our topic. But then, you know what struck me? Seeing a young man, it's obvious that he doesn't also even have a definition of what he wants in life. He is too young to have had a child, and I'm asking, could the child probably be his biological child?
That even struck me as well. Maybe
you know,
a single father. Is that even his biological child?
That's the first thing. Is that child his biological child to start with? And if it is, it could have been those young children who probably just made a mistake impregnating a child, a young girl of his age who has abandoned the child to him, and then probably the parents are not also responsible enough to take care of those children. So the poor girl is, you know,
and this girl, is she in school? Because I am wondering if all that is being pumped into her brain at this age is dance for show, dance for that.
No, she's still so young to start to think. I know we sometimes, we Nigerians, we take our children even when they're below 6 years old. But the right time to take a child to school, it's 6 years old. So we'll be assuming that this 4 years old is still at home learning
for
things
them to even start.
From the house.
I know that in other climes, once a child is 3, the child can join playgroup.
Playgroup, exactly.
Yes. Then once a child reaches 6, the primary, the grade session. So this particular child, was it that she was not in a school?
She's still a baby.
At 4?
She's still a baby. She's still a baby who's supposed to be taken care of. But here we are. Where is the mother of the child? I seriously want to know what her reactions will be.
The father, for me, needs to be counseled.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's that what I've seen. What I've seen there is purely ignorance, and then the quest for money. Here's a responsibility he didn't plan for, and he's probably not doing anything to have money, and he needs money to take care of this child. Of course, they know, like Esther had said, it's a way of cashing out. Just build your viewership, and then create your content, build your viewership, and there you go.
You know, there's nothing even wrong in a father wanting the child to be a celebrity. If it were some other activities, maybe making the child read out rhymes or read out stuff, like, oh wow, this is a genius. The world will still gather to watch.
Now, but you guys, you've forgotten that this thing wouldn't have been in existence if this guy didn't have followers who were enjoying this content. Now, what right say person would sit down and watch a 4-year-old dance in that kind of a seductive way, if not someone who is crazy up there.
Don't forget that we've talked about the audience that we have in the new media. Mixed audience, and for a lot of people this is what gives them joy. It's more like a way of easing off from the stress of life. So when you're faced with challenges, when you're faced with all the stress of life, these are the things that gives you, you know.
Go online and take a quick laugh.
I tell you.
I tell you. Now, let's take this child. I know we're studying this in a little bit, but let's say this. There are so many parents, even mothers, who take their children to birthday parties and they enjoy seeing their children dance. You know, even though the kids are not naked, but they dance in a manner you begin to wonder, these are ways adults should dance. Why is a child dancing like that? But you see the parents clapping and you see the audience clapping. So why is this guy's own different? Is it because he had to open a page for the child, or is it because the child is wearing bikini and all that, and it's on the social media? Because I have seen parents whose children dance in a way that you begin to think, why would you allow a child
is there any other dance? I'm sorry to interrupt you, but is there any other dance step? If you follow dance over time, it's been progressive from one kind of style. Remember in those days it used to be the break dance, the Michael Jackson, all of that. So what is trending now is the twerking and all of that kind of thing. So it's not actually a bad thing, but the medium at which you are projecting this is where it is bad. Like you mentioned, birthday party, that's personal, that's private.
But then in a birthday party, somebody has a phone there and is videoing the whole thing, and the person takes it to the social media.
So Nancy is coming from an angle where the mother is in full support of a child twerking in public. As far as I'm concerned, twerking is a no-no for public where you have decent and responsible people, in quotes. If you want to look at that, it is imported. It was imported from somewhere. And when you want to find twerking clubs and all of those places, brothels. So when you find young children who have been exposed to the internet already, going to learn that, and then they are in public with their parents at the birthday party, and then they are doing all of those seductive moves.
And you see parents clapping and cheering.
Even the mothers are the ones even videoing them and putting online,
on social media.
Right? This also tells the moral paradigm of such parents. Where is the mother coming from? What kind of youthful or teenage days did she have? Was she? No, some of them were actually club girls who just got married and decided to hang their boots and just let me just be a mom and sit down and be a good girl, right? So if that's the kind of background she had, she wouldn't see anything wrong with a child twerking in public or even going half naked. I've seen a child whose mother makes wear bomb shorts compulsorily to events and spaghetti. The girl has complained. The mother even had to hit her at some point. Why are you behaving like all these village girls? Why are you behaving like all these born again, all these Jew girls or Agboma, Maria Maka kind of girls? You must dress like this. And because she's still a minor, she had to. Right? But she, as a person, she's uncomfortable.
Imagine that kind of a girl.
And that's how the mom dresses.
You see. So what's the difference between these people and this guy who decided to monetize his own? Anyway, let's not go into this.
I was about calling even that topic for today.
But what we are calling out, let's call out with all bad things. There are so many dimensions to this thing. So let's just call it all out. All right, let's go on a very short break. We'll be right back to introduce our topic. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
In a world of overwhelming voices, where everyone has different opinion on different issues, it is important that we bring the core issue to the fore. Join me, Nancy Banigo, on Softline as we lend our voices to inform and influence your thoughts and actions. This is not just mere talk, it is an educative program that touches the core of our existence.
No matter wetin I see, enough fit make mouth heavy to talk am. That's now why people dey talk.
People Dey Talk, the show on Monday to Friday by 5 p.m. on top ADBN TV.
In a world of overwhelming voices where everyone has different opinion on different issues, it is important that we bring the core issue to the fore. Join me, Nancy Banigo, on Softline as we lend our voices to inform and influence your thoughts and actions. This is not just mere talk, it is an educative program that touches the core of our existence.
ADBN, Advocate Broadcasting Network.
All right, thank you for being there. So we're discussing a very important issue today, when your wife earns more than you. In the past, we've known that men are usually, they call them the breadwinners. They are the breadwinners, the leaders of the house. So nature has made it that way. Society has deemed it fit for a man to be the one to cater for the house, to go out there, earn money, bring to the house, and take care of his family. But the dynamics has changed. Recently, we've seen more and more women earning more money than their husbands. Now, we've seen so many people being able to face this normally, flow with it. But then we've also seen it cause so many challenges in so many families, where so many men think it's not right. In fact, we've seen a man who actually told his wife she has to quit her job because she got promoted where she'll be earning more than him, and he wasn't comfortable with it anymore. So how do families manage this kind of dynamic? How do people go about it when the wife turns around to be the one earning more than the husband? Well, today, ladies, we'll be doing it. Should we start with Eddie? Eddie, when you hear this kind of a thing, what comes to your mind when a woman begins to earn more than her husband?
I've just been thinking, because now it's no more like a challenge, but it's something we can always talk about, because the pockets of problems it still causes in the society. But I feel it's something men should accept. And the only people or set of people who don't are people who are still struggling with insecurities about relationships and their life. People who haven't come to terms with who they are and what they want, and knowing, being able to self-discover themselves, knowing that whatever weakness or strength you have is part of you, and you shouldn't shy away from it. Now you brought up a scenario where the woman is only about to earn more than him. Before now, he was earning more, and then the woman is being promoted to a position, a level where she's going to be earning more than the man, and he's not comfortable. That's pure insecurity in the man. He should be happy. He should be happy. So how? It should be a thing of pride, actually. That's how it should be.
That's how it should be.
Exactly. So for me, I see men, and I celebrate men who support their wives to get to the zenith of whatever they're doing, their career, or whatever their passion, making sure that they reach the zenith, irrespective of what turns out. Maybe they have they get to be more famous, get the fame or the money, For me, if you have the right relationship and you understand yourselves, it should be a plus to you, rather than you get intimidated.
All right, you've made this sound so easy, but then it's quite a big challenge. I must tell you.
It's not so easy. Now, we're looking at scenarios here, and it's not easy for men who have ego. It's not easy for men who have ego. It's not easy for men who have different perception about things. One thing about life, people are opinionated. They have different perceptions, different beliefs, and just stick to it. For people who are not flexible, they feel this is how it should be, against all odds, no matter what, it's going to be a problem for them. But those who are a bit flexible and take life as it happens and knows that life happens, people who are happy, people who wish people well, I think it's easier for them, and they would be able to, you know, accept and move on.
All right. So, Esther, now that we are in this juncture, you know, things are changing, you know, but then we still have people who are so head-bent on going the traditional way about everything, you know. So when you have a man who is, okay, it's time to be the leader in the house, and then he's not meeting up to those things that are supposed to make him the leader, but then the wife, in her own way, thinks, okay, let me go out and search for something, and peradventure should get something doing, and she's able to, you know, meet up to the needs of the family. But now the man is not doing anything. Is there any way? Some people will say this will make the woman not to be submissive, but is there actually anything wrong with a woman earning, being the breadwinner of a house?
Fantastic topic, I must say, Nancy. But interestingly, money has been the #1 factor proven by statistics that is the cause of divorce, followed by infidelity. But then the Bible says a man that cannot provide for his household is worse than an infidel. He didn't say a man whose wife has more money than is worse than an infidel. These are two different things. A man who is just there, doesn't have anything doing, and does not want to do anything to provide for the family is worse than an infidel.
I'm glad you differentiated it.
Yeah.
Doesn't have anything and doesn't want to do anything.
Then there's one who has something doing, but the income is not just enough to foot the bill. Yes, we wouldn't call such an infidel. I'll give you a clear example. A man who is a teller in a bank, he's just there to pay monies and then receive checks and all of that. And then the wife is a petrochemical engineer working with Chevron, a senior director. Two of them are working, right? But there's no way they can earn the same. Exactly. It doesn't mean the man is an infidel. It doesn't mean the man is not living up to expectation. That's where standard of living now comes in. Understanding and cooperation on the part of both of them. So if the husband is a banker, say a teller, and the wife is up there in an oil company, she's earning in millions monthly, and the man is just earning, say, 120,000 a month, right? It's not for them to come together and say, okay, this is what we are earning, this is the standard of living we can afford, and not necessarily pushing things to where, and then, you know, you bring the whole responsibility on the man, and then you want to drag him up to your level compulsorily because that is where you are, and it is easy on you. So where a man is not able to meet the needs of the family, we have to look at it in totals. Was it like this from the beginning? Sometimes life happens. A man and a woman gets married, and at the end of the day, the man loses his job. And then the table turns, or maybe it was a contractor or something, and the contract stopped coming. And then you find that the fees are on you, rent on you, lucky you if you built before life happened. You know, maintenance here and there, feeding and all of that, healthcare, everything is on you. So at that point in time, a woman, I think, shouldn't complain, should step in and fill the gap, because the man was doing just that before life happened. And trust me, there is no responsible in quote, there is no responsible man who is happy staying down and not living up to expectations. That's why you find today that when a man loses his job or loses his business, you know, it takes a toll on him, mentally, physically, psychologically. You see that once nice, easygoing man suddenly starts changing. Sometimes they become aggressive for the ones who don't know how to cope with such, you know, change, such negative changes in their lives. You see them, you see aggression, you see that they're losing themselves gradually. Some of them are not able to hold the center anymore. They can't even coordinate and dress well, or they don't want to appear in public anymore. They just want to be withdrawn, even from family matters. You have your own maybe parents have needs, and then you can't even go back to him. Before it even comes, you already know the answer and all of that. So it is not wrong for a woman to step in where the man knows his place, and when he had the opportunity, he was meeting the needs until life happened. So it is for her to step in with her resources, encourage him. Also, she must not wait for the man to find his food by himself. You can be an instrument. Put his CVs out there. Talk to people about him. There is no shame in doing that. Oh, please, my husband, he specializes in this, an engineer, he's a lawyer, but see what happened and all of that. So you can put what's out there for him. If no job is forthcoming and is willing to start up something on the side, you could also put monies together and then, okay, honey, can you just start with this? At least let's just keep life going. And you talk to the children about it so that you can start curbing excesses. Maybe before now your freezer used to be stocked. You will kill one full cow and then chicken, one carton, fresh croaker, one carton. All your provisions are imported. You don't do Nigerian stuff. It's Holland milk and all of that. So it's high time you let the children know that the resources aren't coming in the way they used to be. Yes. So help them understand so that everybody can make adjustments. And if you're the type who used to drive to go buy toothpick, you have to understand that right now that luxury isn't there anymore.
I want to paint a scenario because you've just made a point, and from your narrative, this is a woman helping the man. So what happens to a man using that same level of job, the man being a teller, and then this man is being a man. When I say a man, he doesn't want the woman to assist. And the woman has this lifestyle that she would like to live a comfortable life, you know, but the man doesn't want any lifestyle that would go above his resources. And don't forget, like you said, she earns more. And obviously, from what the man is earning, they can't really have that kind of lifestyle. And the money is there, the woman is willing to contribute, but he's putting his feet down and saying, no, this is not happening, it has to be within my reach. I am the man, I sponsor, I foot the bills. So I don't know if you can relate with that kind of...
Looking at it from that angle, we could say there's a school coming up in Lagos in September. Tuition is 42 million a term. Say the woman is rich enough to afford it, and the man is saying, come on, honey, we have 3 children. Even if you have all the money in the world, I don't think it is wise. Can we look for some other schools that are still okay, but we don't have to spend so much just to prove a point that we have the money? You know, remember earlier I talked about the man meeting the needs within his abilities, all right? And then the woman wanting to stretch it. If she wants to stretch it, you see one thing about men, when they give you an advice and they tell you, let's not do too much on this matter, all right? Sponsor a child's birthday and you want to blow it so big. They will get to a point they will let you run with your decisions. Yes, they will get to a point where they say, okay, if that's what you want, go ahead, okay? But then trust me, when it happens that way, sometimes, in most cases, it does not always end well. Because when you encounter challenges, obstacles along the way, the man will tell you to sort it out yourself. So there is still that place of understanding. If the man is saying, please, let us not do too much because of what I earn, the woman loves to travel and go on shopping spree and all of that. If she wants to do all of that, she can go. He's not telling her not to shop. He's not telling her not to that. But he doesn't want her to, you know, raise the family living to a height that his hands cannot reach. Anything might happen tomorrow. What if she dies? What if she loses her job? Life happens. So what happens to the family? What happens to the children? Having raised the standard of living to that point, you know, pegging it at what the woman earns and not what, you know, comes in from the two of them. You know? I can imagine the woman saying, I have this money, let's just enjoy let's just enjoy it while it's still there.
And the man is like, no. It can be frustrating though.
It would be wiser if she channels those funds into investments. Okay. It would be wiser rather than expend everything on wanton living. You know, there are women who love gold, diamonds, they must travel, they must go on boat cruising and all of that. Okay. It would be wiser for such funds to be channeled into investments. Maybe look at areas she's interested in, invest. The children are growing up. Buy policies, insurance policies for the children, right? And
well, I think some of the, this could be termed as one of those challenges that comes with situations like this where the woman earns more than the man. But I tell you, if the woman wants to live a lavish lifestyle and the man doesn't want to because he cannot afford it, isn't that what you're terming as feeling inferior or something? Insecurity complex. I mean, why not just feel free like she would feel free if it was coming from you and enjoy
the money with her.
All right, so we'll talk more about the challenges that comes with these scenarios, but after this short break. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
In a world of overwhelming voices where everyone has different opinion on different issues, it is important that we bring the core issue to the fore. Join me, Nancy Banigo, on Softline as we lend our voices to inform and influence your thoughts and actions. This is not just mere talk, it is an educative program that touches the core of our existence.
ADBN, Advocate Broadcasting Network.
All right, thank you for being there. So we're still discussing scenarios where a wife is earning more than the husband. It's challenging to some families. Now, we're talking about some of the challenges we face, and we see a man feeling inferior, this inferiority complex coming into play. But then we've also had people say it will lead to a woman not being submissive to her husband. Because trust me, women have a way of showing that they are the boss, especially when they are the one footing the bills in the house and all that. So in one way or the other, they'll be rubbing it off on the man. And when a man is frustrated, he doesn't have things to do, he quickly picks these things. And then just trust a house like that. There will always be challenges and all that. So let's talk more. I don't know if you have more of that.
Looking at the subject of submission, right? The Bible says, wives, submit to your husband. When the Bible says, wives, submit to your husband, it wasn't with any exemption. So when you have a husband in the house, you are earning more. It does not give you the moral standing to want to control him or dictate for him. Remember, the man is your head, is your covering. You are in that home, you are earning more. What you need to do in that situation, because she mentioned insecurities earlier, right? You need to apply wisdom. Because a lot of things you would do will be misinterpreted as, is it because you have more money than me?
Exactly, and he will be able to pick this thing
easily. Men are very sensitive. They may not talk, they may not give you the impression that they are watching, but every step you take, like you just woke up one morning and decided to buy him a car gift, he could be offended. Did you tell me before you bought it? What are you trying to prove? Who asked you to build the house? Something you did out of goodwill for all of us to enjoy. So a woman needs to tread with utmost wisdom, right? You understand your husband already, you know his wiring, you know the kind of man that he is, yes. So you must sometimes deliberately just throw nuggets at him. Just get his pulse. Just get to know what he thinks about that thing. You may not even go as far as letting him know this is what you want to do. Just tell him and then hear what he feels about it. We must learn to work with wisdom. Without wisdom, if you earn more than your husband, surely there will be crisis. Because he may wake up one morning and just tell you, okay, that trip you've already bought return ticket for to travel to Dubai with the children or Disneyland, you are not going anywhere. Postpone it till next time. You're like, hey, hell no, and all of that. Rather walk out of this marriage and all of that, okay? But then wisdom demands that if you have such plans, because you can afford it, carry him along. Carry him along in your planning process. Only I think next summer we should be vacationing at such and such. If he tells, okay, don't worry, you guys can plan and go. Just know that he's with you all the way. Even if he doesn't contribute a dime, at least you have his go ahead, right? You have his go ahead to embark on such. So there is that tendency of a woman wanting to, you know, press the button and all of that, but then submission is relative. A woman that is submissive, irrespective of the heights you attain in life. Okay. Submission is relative, yes. Again, I found that the more you submit, the higher you go. When the man finds that you are submitted, he has seen that you're not holding back anything and you do not constitute any threat. He becomes the wind behind your sail. Okay. All right. Eddie? I can cite examples of several successful women today who are richer than their husband. They are famous globally. And their husbands are solidly behind them. They are not threatened. It didn't start out that way in the beginning. But then the wives have gone ahead to prove that no matter the position I attain today, you are still my number one priority. I put you before everything else. Number one classic example, our deputy governor. We have the likes of Dora Akunyili. We have the likes of Okonjo Iweala. The list is endless. Their husbands are pillars behind them, anytime, any day.
But these examples you've cited now are quite different from what we had in mind, or from the story of this man who cannot afford. You know, it's a different thing if your husband is achieving in his own field, and you are popular. People know you because you have public office. You are well known to the public. You're a celebrity in the eyes of the society. But that doesn't mean your husband doesn't have his own.
You know, these
money.
women were not anywhere, you know, before now.
So we're talking about scenarios where the husband cannot afford. He cannot foot the bill for the kind of lifestyle the woman wants, you know, but she has the money to foot that bill.
Now, from the onset of the courtship, or when they got into the marriage?
It's easier from the onset of the courtship. They know their, what will I call it? They know themselves. They know their levels. But when you get into the marriage, let's just say, for instance, now, you got married to a man who was working and earning way, way, way more than you. Then along the line, life happened. You know, this man is used to being the head. He's used to being the one taking the shot for everything. But all of a sudden, the table turns. How would he feel now taking the backstage for you to be calling the shots?
So you see.
So now, what kind of a wisdom would you apply as a woman to deal with this kind of a scenario? Do you want to say?
That's perception per se, and then you having the skill to be able to manage situations. You know, that's a difficult situation. Remember when Esther was talking, she said such a man would go into depression.
Depression, yeah.
So you are not just, and to say the least, this is someone who least expected that this could happen. The man is full of life, visions, aiming for something, and suddenly life happens. You, as the woman, must get ready to receive the blows. Whatever, and you need to hold on for as long as he has been able to heal and accept the situation and move on.
You need to.
As much as you can, you need to hold on, bear all the punches for as long as, and don't forget that the recovery or healing process, it's different from one person to the other. So we would even know the emotional strength of this person. It could be two different families, you know, two different people here, and this other person recovers soon, heals soon. How do you, not that he has something better, but probably accepts the woman taking care of the home, footing bills, and he's fine, hoping that everything will be okay. So everything comes down to the way you relate, the way you understand communication, the bond you share. And in fact, communication is key because it's all encompassing. In your communication, that's where you get to talk about the unforeseen circumstances, which a lot of people fear to talk, shy away from it. But these are things we need to talk about in our relationships so that when it happens, it doesn't just hit us like a surprise. It would be something, because whatever the mind can conceive, you can actually achieve. So if you have ever imagined that, okay, there is going to be this kind of situation sometime in life, and it happens, you know, it wouldn't hit you like when you have felt like it's no. You know, like the proverbial saying, let it go a distant place, and you're asking, people will ask, the distant place, aren't people living there? You know, is it a forest and all of that? So people need to learn to communicate. They need to learn to be resilient. They need to learn to support each other, especially if things were going on well and then life happens. You must, for women, you must stand for your man. And for the men, don't also forget, it's a two-way thing. The man could also respond or behave the same way the woman would. This is a man who has, a woman who has been supporting you, doing everything for you, making sure that you have the best. She covers you up, and suddenly, boom, you hit it. And then she becomes too...
to you.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
She becomes too big, the figure...
Some days ago that you shouldn't marry a woman who suffered with you, who was there with you when you had nothing. The moment you hit the money or the jackpot, just look for something better.
So how do you relate?
So you begin to, these are things we are talking about. It's just the same thing. Now, if this person is giving men this kind of an advice, and is a public figure, you know, saying this to men, that woman that was there for you, just forget it. You can repay her back for all she did for you while both of you were there. But don't ever think of marrying her. So he gave one of the reasons. I was so angry I couldn't listen to it, but one of the reasons I heard him say was she will have this sense of entitlement, like saying every day, I was with you when you had nothing, now you have everything, you think you can treat me. So she always make that quote, I was with you, announcing it to the world that once upon a time you had nothing. So he found it very offensive. Hence, don't marry the woman who suffered with you.
So I see a man who got into a relationship with under self-pretense.
Okay.
You're going into that relationship because of what you stand to benefit, not because you loved the person. So in all of this, you have been living a false life. And that is why this person could say that, you know, because ordinarily I see no reason why you would, at the point of getting your breakthrough, do away with the person who was there for you. Even the law, the golden rule, you know, you definitely not lose. Karma will definitely catch up with you.
Karma is real.
I beg to differ.
Okay.
I beg to differ because not everybody who cohabited or were in a relationship are meant to be together as life partners.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Now, a lady was there for you through thick and thin. We're talking about relationships now, right? Not marriage. Through thick and thin. And then suddenly, doors opened for you. Things got better. I don't think there is any law or principle anywhere that states that you must. Not even the Bible. Not even the Constitution. Makes it... mandatory
that you must
marry this person. What is important here is this person has been so good to you. Everybody around you can attest to the role she played in your rising. And you've come to that point that this girl is a good girl. I like her as a person, but I don't see the two of us together as life partners.
So why force it?
You mustn't force it just to compensate her. Because if you do that, you will live in regret. And you
the both of you, not just you, the both of them will live in regret.
So the best thing to do is, if you're calling it a day, you must do that with wisdom and in all niceness. And now that you have been elevated and you see that, oh, she's no longer as capable as she was, you could also lend her your support all the way. You could also sponsor her ambitions just to make sure she is not left with the impression that she was.
Now you have painted this. Now, how would that person feel?
The lady.
Yes.
That's why we keep giving young girls orientation, right? You see, it begins from there. You don't enter into a relationship with a young man
with the mindset
that he must marry me.
Okay, sorry, I'm not interrupting you, but you didn't define the basis on which this happened. I was listening, you know, attentively. I thought you would say, for a relationship that has been defined, that listen, we are cohabiting or we're into this relationship, but we are not going to get married over time.
And you think they say that? Do they say that?
Relationships are highly defined.
You know, we will be diverting from what we're talking about. I think we'll have to talk about this extensively. Yeah, and looking at it at the relationship angle. There is more to it. Yes, we need to. These are things we're talking about. You know, when you talk about being truthful, communicating, letting someone know your intentions, it helps.
When you are living with somebody, let's say you're living in, we have the fact I saw somebody, a lawyer, who was saying many women are married today, but the marriage is all in their head. They are not actually married. But that's going to be another topic, a very good topic. Yes, because you go and live with someone, you finally have children for this person. Probably you're the one doing everything, and this person is just enjoying the whole thing. Then when the table or when the jungle mature, according to one governor, when the jungle mature, he picks side and tells you, I didn't marry you. You came to stay with me. You forced this whole thing on me. It's not like, and there are children involved. You know. So, but let's leave that aside.
You talked about wisdom, right? How we can employ wisdom in handling this. One of the wisdom tools we need in our quiver as women is transparency. When you get to that point, you know, this man is now bankrupt and everything has fallen on you, you need to try as much as you can to be transparent with your earnings. Okay. Whatever comes in, yes. Whatever comes in. I know people out there who say,
I'm trying to understand
this woman, is she a Nigerian at all?
Okay.
Whatever comes in to your hands at that point in time, do you know that even God trusts that you, for that meantime, will stand in? For that meantime, as he keeps providing for you through several channels, and you find that God will be so faithful that beyond your salaries, tips, tips and then stipends from left, right, center will just keep coming in from time to time, gifts unsolicited from time to time, and you find those little needs being met. God is committed to your needs and not your wants. You find that there will never come a day where the family will go stark hungry or terrible things happen and that will not be taken care of, right? So be transparent. Okay, I've been paid, right? I've been paid. Okay, I want to do this. Okay, I'm buying foodstuffs. I'm fixing the car. I'm sending this to the landlord where you live in a rented apartment. I'm sending this to the school as fees. This is what we have left to keep the family going till the next salary comes in. Yes. So that transparency, it's you bringing the man in. You earn your salary, 500,000 drops as an alert today, and then in the next 2 days, he knows you're paid already. And then the next 2 days, you tell him the money has finished. And it's like, how now? And you start ranting. Didn't I fill the gas? Didn't I buy the car? What kind of question are you asking? Didn't you know we're only the mechanic? Didn't you know?
Or you go to the back and then you do all this without letting him know.
He's not aware. So then he comes and tells you, I need to shave. And you tell him, I'm sorry, money has finished. He will feel bad. So because of that, you will hurt his ego. And he will call his friend, guy, I beg, sure, I want to go and have a haircut, I beg. I don't even understand what this woman they do, yeah? So those are the things I even sent him further into his shell and makes him feel really, really terrible, okay? Another thing you can do, where you know what you're earning is at least good enough to even foot those basic bills of the house, is also give him an allowance.
Exactly, that's what I was about to say.
Small money to, guy, you need to barb your hair or maybe move around. He's not working doesn't mean he's like a stooge in the house or somewhere seated or fixated somewhere. Okay, his life is still going on actually, right? So just, okay, honey, I've just wired, you don't even need to tell him, I've just wired this amount just for whatever, okay? That will also give him a sense of, oh, my wife is really concerned about my well-being, okay? It wouldn't be nice that you're there and then he's calling friends to beg. Yeah, beg, help me with 2K, help me with 5K.
Or even come to ask you. So you just said, because I was about saying it was wrong, it is wrong to allow a man in that state to come ask you for his needs.
It's actually very petty thing.
But my own perception, now you're talking about a scenario where the man was working. So, but for women, because that's where we have problems. Women who have money and the guys are single, maybe whatever they're doing is not commensurate, or they don't have enough that would be able to foot the bills. Do we discourage this kind of relationship? How do we encourage that young man to be bold enough to say, yeah, my bills, my money cannot take care of you, but I could be there. And the woman also knowing that, okay, I have the money, but it's fine, both of us can work together.
You know what I'm laughing? I've seen a scenario where, you know, a young man, actually, a young lady that was very wealthy was in love with a young man who wasn't as wealthy as her. And then his friends kept discouraging him. See, that girl will use you as a rag in their house. She has built a house. Young single girl in her 20s. She's built a house, owns her company. She's doing very well. Her family is overseas. So his friends kept telling him, that girl will use you as a rag in the house. Don't go in. You're talking about how we can encourage young persons.
But was that right? Is it right to listen to such advice?
You know, love is a thing of the heart, right? If she has same feelings towards you, and then you've seen that you guys are compatible, and you've done everything else, and you've seen that we're good to go, I think you should give love a chance. And not, you know, these friends are advising based on what they have seen
or heard,
happen,
you know,
what they have heard happen. I don't want their friends to be a victim. That's why they're advising, oh boy, look before you leap. And then some rich girls have been conditioned to think that any young man coming to ask their hand in marriage is coming because of
the
what
money.
they own or what they possess.
Exactly, that's the problem. That's the problem, because I've seen a lot of young girls who have money. They work in good places. But the moment you're a guy and you come to them and you don't have
anything
to measure up with them,
it looks as if you're a gold digger coming to get from them.
That, look, Nancy, I can't even venture into this marriage because all I'll be thinking is that this guy just married me because of my money. So I have told her probably she needs a professional help.
Yeah.
You know, to make her see life as simple as it is. Don't look at everybody who is coming to you as somebody coming to you to come on, because this is how you're going to lose even that one that's supposed to be for you.
Yeah.
She has this mindset already. And she has money. She has money. So I keep wondering. So I've advised her. I think the professionals will do that job, because I'm not sure she will listen to us.
No, of course, such advice shouldn't come from someone close, because tendencies are that you don't really understand
her situation.
Exactly.
All right, ladies, we have to go. That's the much we can take. You want to say something before we go?
When you said we have to go, I had to look at time again.
Is it time already?
Ladies, I know when it comes to topics like this, we really want to indulge. We want to talk plenty. We have to go. You have anything you want to say before we go?
Well, to all the wives out there, just be loving, be humble, be submissive, be respectful. When you have the opportunity to support your man, please do not lose that opportunity, because you may not have it a second time. And for some men, once they bounce back on their feet, they will pay you back 7 times.
Imagine you treated someone so bad, and finally the person came. It could be like a kind of test. Trying to test how you're going to be.
Love, prove your commitment, for better, for worse, that you actually vowed on the altar.
We need to talk about this for better, for worse. Someone said it's not supposed to be for better, for worse. For better, for best, not for better, for worse. Eddie actually said something I wanted us to talk about, but there's no time. When you said the woman should be submissive, should be able to take all the blows and all that, does that include violence?
No, not physical.
I'm glad.
That comes
that's exactly what I meant.
Declare that, so that someone there will not think anything. All right, thank you for being a part of the show today. From all of us in the studio, bye-bye, and thanks for watching.
Thank you.